What is going on, Mile High City? Welcome back to Broncos Country News. I'm your host and anchor, Caleb Malden. Oh, you thought I was kidding about making a video literally a day after I just posted a new one? Nope, I'm not kidding. So I didn't expect a ton to happen on day 2, but enough happened involving a certain player. So let's just jump right into this. The Broncos picked up Von Miller's option, signing him to $18 million this season. Yeah, 18 mil. Yeah. And now before you even say it, see, dumb fat guy in his basement with a half beard, you were wrong. The Broncos are going to pay Von Miller 18 mil, huh? See, they're not going to move off him, ha ha ha. Okay, first off, I am overweight. I agree with you on that one. Second, give it time. This thing will grow, all right? It's a process. Also, I never said I wanted Von gone or that the Broncos would move off Von Miller. I just suggested that it was possible. Because, $18 million, that's a lot to ask for an edge rusher who's on the backside of 30 and, kind of came off of a terrible injury. But apparently, so here's what happened. George Paton had been trying to rework a deal with Von Miller, and it just wasn't going to fly. Von said he wanted to stay, but he wanted his money because, the market came out for edge rushers, guys like Matt Judon and Yannick Ngakoue, Bud Dupree got their big contracts, and they were getting paid almost just as much as Von is getting paid, and they're far less proven because, Von's obviously, on a Hall of Fame trajectory. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He better be in the Hall of Fame. Number 58 better at least be retired, or at least in the Ring of Honor, Ring of Fame, he better be at least considered for jersey retirement. Earl Silver wears number 58 next is going to have a lot to live up to. I wouldn't want to be that guy. But apparently, since those guys got their money, and Von is, to be fair, more proven than those guys. He's a proven commodity. He's a popular character. He's still a captain of the team. He's still beloved in Denver. He said he wants to be here through the good and the bad. He wants to be one of those guys. I mean, those are the guys you want to keep around. I mean, yes, I know I think it is a bit of an overpayment, but if Von bounces back, then, there's no need to worry about it. But this is, of course, just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. Von could have a terrible year, or, God forbid, he gets hurt again. But, if Von bounces back, I'm just surprised they gave him the full contract. I thought they were going to really beg him to take a pay cut. But what was surprising to me is even with paying Von that much, we still have around $26 to $28 million to play with the cap space. So there's still a fair amount for Denver to work with. So, they could still get another good corner on the market. Keanu Neal is rumored to be available. So if you want to replace Kareem Jackson, you can bring in Neal. Denver still has plenty of options, and I like the way George Paton's been playing this. Von's really the only expensive free agent they've done so far. Denver isn't splurging on free agents. They're just plugging in minor holes on manageable cap hits with good deals that don't burn them too badly if it doesn't work out. The Broncos are playing this really well. I like the way Paton's doing it. They did do second-round tenders to both A.J. Johnson and to Tim Patrick, which is good because it means if teams want them, they'll have to overpay than what they probably are worth. And, hey, you want to overpay for those guys? I'm not going to overpay. Fine, you take them. And, hey, we'll get 2 second-round picks, 3 second-round picks. You can't tell me that doesn't at least bring some value, both in the draft and in a trade. Come on. So, yeah, the Broncos are getting tons of good value here. I imagine they'll stay, though. The only RFA, of course, is Lindsay. I imagine they'd get now, they did have a right-to-refuse deal where they can match any offer they give them, and I imagine it's going to be a dirt cheap offer. And if it is a dirt cheap offer, I imagine Denver could just match it and just say, hey, look, we look like geniuses. We get basically a free cheap year of Philip Lindsay. Give him at least another year to prove it. And hey, if he gets another big year, fine. All right, we'll give you a decent contract. I'm not changing my stance on paying running backs. I'm not changing my stance on that. I think it's just the way the NFL shifted. It's unfortunate, but it's how it is. But RFA Day, that'll be tomorrow. Oh boy, RFA Day is going to be insane. How many teams are going to tender and overpay? And hey, Broncos still looking for a QB option to compete with Drew Lock. Hey, at least we didn't overpay for Andy Dalton. Or, and in my opinion, look, I get Fitzpatrick could have come here, and I would have liked him as a backup. My problem is just that, honestly, we've seen this stuff from Fitzpatrick before. Remember, 2015, he had a great year with the Jets, and then the next year, he sucks. The Jets fall apart, and he ends up getting cut. We've seen this before with Fitz. He's good as a backup, but as a starter, I don't know about that. So, Jacoby Brissett's off the market. in my opinion, I'll just take Alex Smith. I'll take Robo-Leg Smith. I don't want Trubisky. Let's get that out of the way. I don't want Mitch Trubisky. Don't want Sam Darnold. That's more of a project than a backup. And he's kind of broken as a quarterback. He needs a new, fresh start. A whole fresh start. Sitting behind a vet for at least a year. That's in my opinion with Sam Darnold. I'll take Minshew, probably. Low floor, low ceiling. He won't embarrass himself. He's not spectacular. He's kind of what you need in a backup. I don't want Nick Foles, that's for sure. Not with the ridiculous cap hit he'll come with. And the Bears are just going to have a sad QB competition. It's going to be like Simeon versus Lynch 2.0. Ugh, Bears fans, I feel you. I know how it feels to have a depressing QB competition coming up. That Simeon Lynch one was ugly to sit through. Ugh. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I'm not going to complain about Von Miller staying. I love Von. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. I love Von Miller. He's been my favorite player since he's been on the Broncos. And hey, I get to keep my jerseys now. It's something, okay? If Von bounces back, great, fine. I don't care about the cap hit. I did think we overpaid a little bit, but you know what? We still have plenty of cap room to play with. I will make a video on RFA Day because it'll be a little fun to see what happens if anything happens. If nothing happens, other than maybe Lindsay or something, if nothing happens on RFA Day, I imagine that I won't have to make much of a video. Other than that, I am not going to do this too often, alright? I'll do an RFA video for day 3, and then after that, any other signings that happen, unless there's like a huge one, which doesn't look like is going to be the case, I'll just lump them all into one big video before the draft and my free agency recap. I'll just do that. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's just my opinion on everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And be sure to look out for my RFA video. They'll be coming very soon. Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comments below. Von Miller, RFA tenders, who we should sign, who we shouldn't sign, all of that, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, that's it from me, guys. Broncos country, 303. I'll see you guys later.